Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have our second leg against NEC Nijmegen in the Europa League semi-final, and we follow it up with a Premier League game away against Brentford. We're very close to the end of the season in general, and in tomorrow's episode we'll have Chelsea away for sure, and hopefully a Europa League final as well, because obviously after the first leg, as you can see, a 4-2 win. And we also won 4-2 against Aston Villa and a 1-0 win against Leeds. But once again, we lost by a goal to nil against Newcastle. Both sides were quite poor in that game. And it was a 91st minute winner from Newcastle that secured that match. And as such, it does leave us in 8th place still in the Premier League table. But we do have a game in hand on 4th place Manchester City. And if we win that game in hand, we are only 3 points behind them. Granted, they've got a better goal difference, but I think we're still in the mix. And obviously, going into a Europa League final, we still have that opportunity of qualifying for the Champions League anyway. But we've still got to get the job done. Nijmegen was quite a frustrating one, to be fair, in the first leg. We won 4-2. It was a very comfortable victory. Nijmegen had 2 shots on target toward the end of the second half and scored them both. So there was a bit of annoyance on my part, but we go into this second leg and we know what we have to do. It's pretty much same story as what happened against Porto. We need to go out there and get the job done. The disadvantage for us today is, of course, the second leg is away rather than at home. So, Eamon Slitty was the one who got 2 goals for Nijmegen in that previous leg. So we've got a lot of work to do here. Despite our position in the tie. We've got a lot of work to do, and we need to make sure that we get through to this final. Uh, Most likely outcome is if we do get to the final, we play Roma. They won 6-1 against Celtic in their first leg. Good clearance there from Romano. Tariq Lamptey picking it up down this right-hand side, plays it in, and Sabitzer with the effort, well saved by Whitbread, and Morrell charging away with the ball here. He's very quickly closed down by Tariq Lamptey, and it comes to nothing. But positive start from Nijmegen. Of course, they're under the pressure here. They have to really start the game in an attacking manner to get the goals. Biner swinging it in. There is Almada, but he couldn't quite win the header. But Biner does find Guilherme, and he charges in toward the penalty. That's a lovely effort, and it's a really good claim by the goalkeeper, Jonkers. And both sides looking like they will create opportunities today, but we need to get a goal, and we need it early on in this game just to give us that little bit more breathing space. A 2-goal advantage isn't the best. A 3-goal advantage does give us a lot more security. Here is Morrell coming down this left-hand side. Opportunity to get it into the penalty area. He lays it back to Siles, who has plenty more space, and he finds Morrell again. And that is a very well-worked goal between the two of them. And Morrell's fantastic debut season continues. It's another very important goal from him. Obviously, he got a hat-trick against FC Porto in the previous round. But that was a very well-worked goal between him and Siles, and we have a lead. I think it might have taken a slight deflection off the defender, which took it over the goalkeeper there. But we have what we wanted, and that is an early goal to give ourselves a 3-goal cushion. Here is Slitty, though, plays it into the penalty area, and Sabitzer immediately grabbing an equaliser for Nijmegen. It's his 17th of the season, and our 3-goal advantage lasted less than 2 minutes. Very disappointing. And again, their first attempt on target. Jonkers with a delivery forward. Hadjo doing well in the midfield. Youngblood into Guilherme. And now Biner, moving down this right-hand side, plays it in toward Youngblood, and Aya winning the header quite comfortably, to be fair. And Hadjo lays it back to Correa. I've really grown to like Correa, by the way. He's really stamped his authority on this back four. Here is Almada cutting into the penalty area. That's a really good effort, actually. It was on target for sure, and Jonkers having to make the save, and it goes out for a corner. A lot going on. We're only 16 minutes in here. Corner gets swung in, and in the end it went just wide, but Romano handballed, so it ends there. was kind of hoping it'd be a quick and easy one, this particular game, but there's highlight after highlight here. Both sides certainly going all out at the moment. Slower into Sabitzer, and Whitbread with a massive, massive save there to touch it onto the crossbar. Well, I thought he had. He actually went for a throw in to us, so we've got to be careful here. We have had more opportunities, but Nijmegen just showing how dangerous they are. They've really put a number on a few of the teams so far in the competition, so we've got to be careful. Fortunately, obviously, Morrell's goal did give us that little bit of extra leeway, but we go into half-time still with that 2-goal advantage, which is what we wanted, but we need to keep up our momentum. And overall, it's not been a bad performance, but we just need to find that something a little bit extra. Incidentally, Almada's had a bit of a quieter time in front of goal recently. He has managed to still find the back of the net, but he's not been quite as consistent with his performances, which has been a little bit of a worry, but he's still putting himself in the right area. And obviously, he's just proven me wrong because he has given us our 3-goal advantage again. It was a very good finish. And thank you, Almada. He has officially shut me up there. But Morrell doing particularly well down this left-hand side, laying it into the penalty area for Romano, who found Almada, who was completely free, I might add. And it was a very assertive finish into the top corner. And with that goal, it certainly looks like we are going to be heading into the Europa League final against Roma. Roma 6-1 in the first leg. Like I say, they're leading in the second leg as well at the moment by a 1-0 as Almada gets in again and Almada scores again. Perhaps I should badmouth him a little bit more often. He's suddenly woken up and 2 goals in 5 minutes for him. And we are certainly heading for a Europa League final now against Roma, and it'll be a tough one. I've had a look at Roma's team as well. A couple of their players are top talents as well, so we're really going to have to be on point. But we have got a big opportunity for some silverware, it has to be said. So, but we've done well today. We've got the job done, and we will take a few players off as well before we start getting too tired. And I think, to be fair, we'll do that now. Hadjo can come off for Hayes. To be fair, a number of the back four shouldn't be too bad. Romano will take off for Rippis. That front four, I'm quite happy to leave most of them on, in all honesty. We'll get, I mean, Oscar Gluck's actually been injured, so it's probably not a wise move to bring him on. We'll bring Separac on up front for Almada. Guilherme, Youngblood and Morrell haven't played too many matches recently, but we'll get Rob Dahl on for Youngblood just because he's on that yellow card. And we'll save the last substitution for now. Almada's done his job, he's got a brace, and we can look forward to a Europa League final in tomorrow's episode by the looks of things. Rippis here to Yerashami. Now Siles. Back to Rippis. Yerashami, we're just knocking the ball about at the back. I mean, the tie as a whole is done, but we do need to make sure that we get the win today just to keep our momentum. Like I say, after that defeat to Newcastle, we struggled to get past Leeds, really. But a bit more of an assertive performance after the Nijmegen game against Aston Villa as Sabitzer gets played in and he smashes it against the post. It was a very good effort from him and we managed to get it clear. But overall, again, we've dominated the game. We've not let Nijmegen too much back into it. And Luis Guilherme there with the strike from the free kick just off the crossbar. We've not let them get back into it the way we did in the first leg. It's been a decent second leg performance from the boys, and I'm quite happy to see that we're getting the job done today, to be honest, as Morrell picks it up from the clearance. And he continues to run down this left-hand side. He's not got too much support, but proper in the end, making the challenge. And we have a throw. And Rippis will take the throw into Morrell again. Back to Rippis. And now Yerashami. I think Morrell's had a very influential game today. He's played very, very well, in fact, once again, as Beinert comes down this right-hand side, lays it inside to Siles, who completely, I don't know if he missed it or whether he got buffeted by the opposition player, but he did miss it completely as Correa picks it up and finds Hayes. That's a nice pass into Guilherme. Tries to take it past the opposition fullback, and he gets round the outside, swings it in, and Separac was there. He couldn't quite win the header. and Morrell picks it up. Tried to play it in, and Doika managing to clear quite comfortably. Roma have doubled their advantage in the second legs. Bit of a shame for Celtic, really. They've been absolutely demolished by Roma after a very good run to get to the semi-final. But we are in the Europa League final, and we've done extremely well to get there. Overall, pretty happy. Villarreal and Porto, of course, were the more stern opposition that we faced. But yet we ended up coming out quite comfortable in the end. And hopefully we can find a way to win it as well. Because looking at the past winners, I mean, Roma have won it more recently. They won it 5 years ago, it looks like. But 4 out of the last 6 have been English clubs. Newcastle, Tottenham, Chelsea and Everton have all won the Europa League. Hopefully we can add another English name to that list. And definitely praise Almada's performance. He was very good in front of goal. And we will be back very soon for the Brentford game. It's only in a few days' time. So just bear with me, and hopefully we can keep up the pressure and finish in a European spot outright in the Premier League. Okay guys, here we go for the game away against Brentford. As you can see, there's been plenty of other matches that have been played in the Premier League. Manchester City have actually played 2 games more than us now, and we're 7 points behind them. So we do have an opportunity here. We've got 3 games to play, and yes, we're relying on teams above us to lose. Obviously, last game of the season against Chelsea could depend. A lot could depend on that in terms of whether we qualify for Europe in the league or not. But we have to win today. We have to take it one game at a time, and we have to get a result today. Brentford were up near the top of the league for quite some time. And unfortunately, I think they just ran out of steam. And in the end, they've dropped right down to below us, in fact. They're down in 10th place now. And we've pretty much got a full strength lineup today. We're a little bit unfortunate in that Sonogo and, well, Sonogo's out. Gluck could play, but it's probably not worth it. So Sonogo is a big miss, but the likes of Youngblood and Rob Dow have played well when they've played a little bit of regular football for us. So hopefully they can do so today. And really happy with the starting lineup as per usual. The younger players that we brought in this season have certainly settled into their rhythm. Almada's really had a good start after coming back from his injury after we signed him in January, of course. And Morrell, in the end, he's also gradually stepped into a good role in the side. Yes, he's still a rotator and a player, but he's certainly giving good account of himself when he does play. So Brentford had the beating of us last time out, and I'm hoping that we'll be good enough to get a win today. We need to win to give ourselves an opportunity, because if things go sour in the Europa League final against Roma, obviously it could end up being that we won't qualify for Europe at all, which could see me out of a job at the end of the season. Dusa here into Medina, fires it in, and that is a big goal. Valentino Youngblood with his 10th goal of the season. I didn't realise he was doing quite as well as that, to be honest, but it's the 10th goal of the season for him in all competitions. And it was a lovely assist. Really good work from Dusa. He's really stepped up in recent weeks as well. He scored a couple of goals against Aston Villa, in fact. He scored 3 goals, 2 for us and 1 as an own goal for Aston Villa. So it was a bit of a weird game for him, but he's really stepped up a little bit more recently. And hopefully he can continue that kind of form. Medina with a lovely assist there, smashing it across the penalty area, and Youngblood with the finish. And it's a very important goal for us. Like I say, we have to win today to keep that pressure on and to give ourselves a chance. Like I say, I mean, it's all to play for. It is all to play for. And yes, we're relying on teams losing other matches, but we can give ourselves the best chance if we just win our games. And having lost only one, well, we've lost 2, haven't we, in the FA Cup semi-final and the Premier League against Newcastle. But we've only lost 2 in, 15 games? And it's a really impressive run. I think it might even be more than that, given the European exploits as well. But overall, I am extremely happy with how things have gone in the second half of the season. We've found our system that we like as a club, and it certainly seems to be working. We are going to have to make changes here. Guilherme is going to come on that right hand side. Medina will switch to the left. Youngblood will come off for Rob Dow. Hadjo is again struggling for Hayes. Romano is struggling, so Rippis can come on for him. And then, I mean, Medina is struggling for fitness today, but we're going to have to leave him on because I fear a red card, to be honest. And it's a bit of a risk, but Griffith, he continues to train superbly, Griffith, and he's not seen any game time for it. He will play the last 15 minutes here. It's a big risk in such a big game for us, but hopefully he can do the job as Medina gets in, and that gives us the breathing space that we needed. I really hope this counts because that was a very well worked goal down that left hand side. And the goal is awarded. That is a huge, huge goal for us. Rippis with the throw. Medina knocked it back to him, inside to Hayes. Rob Dow into Almada, into Medina. One touch football, really good finish into the bottom corner. And this is a huge 3 points for us. And I think in winning this today, in fact, I think we might go 7th in the Premier League. I'll have to double check that. But we haven't been higher than 8th all season. The 8th place that we're in at the moment is the highest we've been all campaign. But that is a huge 3 points. It's a fantastic win. And we really are keeping up the pressure. No, we stay in 8th. It's that, like I say, it's the best position we've been in. But we've opened up a gap to Brentford in 10th. So the lowest at the moment, I mean, we're 5 points clear of Brentford. The lowest we can finish is 10th. But with a 3 point gap over West Ham now, I mean, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it? We've got an opportunity to close the gap to 1 point to Manchester City as well, because we have actually got a game in hand over City. And Arsenal have got 2 games in hand over Newcastle, so that's a huge fight at the top of the Premier League. Everton are out of the title race, which is a bit of a shame from their point of view. In fact, to be fair, Everton could drop out altogether of the Champions League places, which is, of course, where they've been all season. A big 3 points for Leicester, but it's not enough. Wolves and Leicester have gone down. Southampton, Burnley and Crystal Palace can all go down as well. Leeds are safe, so a lot to play for as we go into the last few games of the season, not just for ourselves, but for a number of other teams as well. And, you know, what more can we do? We're doing the best that we can, and we have an opportunity. So we've got the Everton game, first and foremost. I mean, that's a big game in itself, isn't it? The Roma game actually comes in before Chelsea. So we've got a Europa League final and then the last Premier League game of the season. So the pressure could be off on the Chelsea game. If we win against Roma, we will qualify for the Champions League, which would take the pressure off that game against Chelsea. But we will see what happens. Roma and Chelsea tomorrow. So until then, guys, thank you very much for your support. Please like, subscribe to the channel. It is all greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.